Tonight on Brumbies TV, we take a look at the equation for the finals, who's in and who's out. We find out more about what makes our star players tick, and we preview the crucial clash with the Force.
That's right, we're here at Brumbies headquarters for Brumbies TV with Jordan Smilo, who has joined us and is recovering from his injury. Thanks so much for joining us.
No, thanks for having me, Brittany.
Now, the game on Friday, not the best result.
Definitely not the best result. No, you don't prepare for those things, you prepare to win. And so obviously to go over there, well, the boys to go over there and come away with quite a big loss was very disappointing. But, this is the start of a new week and you kind of look at the positives and the negatives from that game and just work on them for the next one.
Of course, and I mean, you sitting at home watching the match, you would have just been dying to get involved.
Yeah, 100%. Like, no one likes being injured and, watching the game does get quite frustrating because it's easier to see kind of where you need to change things, from that perspective. But, it's harder when you're actually playing to see what you need to change and to, what can help the team, do a little bit better.
Now, your injury happened in the World Cup 10s on your knee.
Yes.
How has it been healing? Do you reckon you'll be on the field again soon?
Yeah, so it was a grade 2 medial. And that's generally a 4 to 6 week injury.
Yeah.
So it's been 3 weeks post-injury now.
Nearly there.
Yeah, so nearly there. So it's feeling all right, doing a bit of running, starting to do some natural work now, which is pretty good. So we'll see how it's feeling towards the back end of this week and do a bit of light contact and I guess the medical staff will make some decisions from there whether I'm ready or not.
Awesome, wishing you all the best in recovery there. Now we will chat some more and ask some more questions, but for now, let's watch how the match against the Blues unfolded on Friday.
The Brumbies are still in with a chance to make the Super Rugby finals despite a devastating loss to the Blues in Auckland. The home side dominated early, Jerome Kaino the first to cross. The Brumbies' left side defence was found out again just 3 minutes later. The Brumbies were stunned by a Blues outfit which has struggled against other New Zealand teams this year. The first of only 2 5-pointers for the visitors was a penalty try. Things seemed to stick for the Blues, an ominous sign for the Waratahs, who head to Auckland for a must-win clash next week, this try making it a 21-point advantage. Matt Tamua had the Brumbies second just before half-time. At times in the second half, the Brumbies defended well, but the Blues were the better side, Matt Duffy sealing the 25-point win.
The Brumbies' back row depth has been tested. How do you think Michael Wells went on Friday?
Wellsy, I thought he was bloody brilliant. I thought, it was awesome to see him actually get out there and enjoy a bit of game time.
Of course.
It came towards the back end of the season for him, but, any time is it's great. Yeah, exactly.
So we've got the last game of a regular season coming up. How do you boys prepare yourself for such a big game?
Yeah, well, there's a number of things the guys are doing that kind of trying to recover from the last game, and so a lot of that's generally, you just got to get your body right. That's the mindset. Get you right, and put yourself in the best position to perform well in the next game. So those guys will be doing a lot of review, doing a lot of preview on the Force. And like you said, it's the last game of the regular season. It's a tough one for us, leading into the finals. We want to kind of push for that win and even better, get that bonus point.
I'm sure you guys will do well. And I mean, is it just me or has it flown by really fast?
Really fast. It's the case
like
every year, 100%. It seems like you do all this work in pre-season and before you know it, you're halfway through the season, then you're at the end, and
100%.
it's finals. So,
Lies.
like I said, there's not much time.
Wishing you all the best in the game. I'll be there cheering for you.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us on Brumbies TV.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Wet conditions greeted the Stormers in Perth for the Western Force's last home game of the season. Both sides had penalty goals early, but the first try didn't come until the 38th minute. The Stormers scored a second before the break and flew to a comfortable lead in the second half, securing a 19-point victory and a home playoff. Brumbies fans watched closely as the Hurricanes blew into Sydney, the Tars a chance to take the top Australian conference spot. The Wellington side started strong,
brilliant stuff.
but the Waratahs proved equally as adept at crossing the chalk.
They won't stop him. Over he goes.
Both sides played 10 minutes with 14 men. The home side claiming 3 points off the back of a tackle ruled to be high. The Waratahs huffed and puffed and sent Folau to the line right after the break. But the Hurricanes came home at a rate of knots. The narrow victory keeping the Hurricanes in touch with the New Zealand Conference leaders. In other games, the Chiefs destroyed the Reds. The Lions dominated the Kings. The Crusaders ran in 13 tries against the Rebels. On Sunday, the Sunwolves were no match for the Bulls. The Sharks beat the Cheetahs, and the Highlanders had a win in Argentina. A quick look at the ladder now. The Lions and the Chiefs and the Crusaders are the favourites for the title as we edge closer to the finals. The Brumbies are just hanging in there ahead of the Waratahs. The Rebels, the Reds and the Force are playing for pride in the final round.
Yeah, it's changed quite a bit, I think, especially as a prop. Each year the refs tend to come up with new scrum laws and new way to crouch, bind, set and all that. So it's changed, scrummaging's changed a lot, and that's obviously the main part of a prop. But definitely, the game's evolved, I think, definitely for the better. The way the game's played now is definitely a lot faster, but it still keeps, the core parts of rugby, the set piece is still just as important. And when sides get that right, it generally then opens the game up, and I definitely think it's improved. I don't know. I don't really get away with anything, so I get pinged for everything. So no, I don't think so. I'm not a very good cheater.
I guess there's more cameras these days as well, so it's really hard to get away with everything. So everything you do is pretty much being watched, and you can't get away with anything really. So it went well. I guess it was just good to be out there playing again. That was the main thing, just to get some minutes under my belt. So yeah, it's been a long time, and you sort of lose fitness and skills and stuff. So it's just good to be playing again.
Oh, don't be modest. He absolutely killed it. Apparently, that's what everyone's saying.
Thanks, Ben.
He absolutely killed it. Yeah, no, he's being modest, very modest.
Yeah, it was a bit. I had probably about 5 years at East, so I got a handful of games there, but that's just the way it is, really. I'm happy to be at the Whites. They're having a really good season, so if I can contribute to their success, then it's all good.
Yeah, they obviously new coach, so they got defensive Dave Vessels, who was here at the Brums for a season from the Stormers. Jake got him over, and he knows his stuff, especially around defence. So they've had some games where their defence has been outstanding. So expect them to be really tough. They're a bit hit and miss in their attack, but when they're on, they really are on, and they can sort of score from anywhere. So definitely expecting a very physical game. They'll want to go out. They sort of see themselves as spoilers. They really like to wreck people's seasons. They've ruined a few people's seasons. Upsetting sides when they weren't fancied to win and they've won. So they'll be looking to definitely wreck our finals campaign. So it'll be a really tough match. No, it was awesome, really awesome experience. I watched the 2014 Vikings, and the guys were pretty frustrated. They had a really good team on paper and didn't get into the finals. And so being part of the squad last year, the coaching staff had learned a lot of lessons from the first NRC to the second one, and we went right through to the final against Brisbane City, and we lost to them twice. So you can't say that we were the better side. They beat us twice fair and square, so they were definitely the best side in the comp, and I think it was clear that we were the second best. So definitely I think the Vikings will have a point to prove this year, and all the guys were there last year. We wanted to go one step further, and all the young Canberra guys that come through, with the Oakman Hunts come through and play really well for us. A lot of like Joey Powell, look how well he played last year. So I think people know now that no matter what your motivation is, whether you're a club guy trying to get a contract or you're already a contracted guy trying to get in the national squad, that it's a really, really good platform, and if you play good footy, you'll get opportunities further on down the track.
Yeah, I haven't really seen too much of it just because I've been overseas, but from what I have seen, it seems like a really fast and skillful sort of style of game. It's very open, and it gives the young guys a really good opportunity to sort of progress to future Super Rugby teams. So it's quite a good pathway, and it's probably the pathway that Australian rugby needs, which is really good.
Don't you know I'm home?
For mine, I'm a technical coach. I enjoy the hands-on part of coaching, so out there on the field with the players and I guess I feel I understand what they're going through, and I can probably see it from their perspective a little bit better than other coaches.
Yeah, Bernie is pretty quirky. I mean, I've loved getting to know him and being coached by him. He was obviously one of my heroes growing up as a kid, and then I played a couple of games against him in 2007. And now to be coached by him, he's, no one reads the game like Bernie in terms of a rugby brain. I haven't met someone who can pull apart a game as well as him.
It's been great to see him develop as a coach over the last 4 or 5 years, and I think now he's really at the top of his game as a coach. He thinks about all different areas of the team and what's important, not just on the field but off the field, and I think he'll continue to grow as a coach as he goes on in his career.
He's a very smart bloke, and he loves his rugby, so he's obviously developing more and more skills in more and more areas as a coach. And I mean, I guess one of the positives is being only recently retired is he still remembers what it's like to be a player, and he can sort of see things from our perspective as well.
Yeah, very interesting guy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been a long time, so absolutely, I'm raring to go, sort of thing. I've been sort of training for a long time, trying to build up fitness and get myself ready, and I feel the body's ready now. So depending on selections, it'd be great to be playing again.
Yeah, we got the inmates running the asylum down there, unfortunately. But he's been really good. We got Scott and I got some really good business partners in the Collins family who also own the Lighthouse here in Belconnen, and they're along with my brother and Jeremy and Google. We've got a good little team down there running it, so it's doing well.
Geez, it's hard to go past the New Zealand teams. They've been, all of them are really strong, and they've all got strengths. They play really good style of rugby. To pick one of them's tough. Any one of those 4 really could win the competition.
I mean, like the Chiefs and Crusaders looking good. I think we are a good chance. We get a bit of luck with guys coming back at the right times with injuries. We had a lot of guys injured through the June window. Geordie Smile got injured in Mauritius. Joe Tamani, Matt Tamua. Obviously Henry's gone. Dad Pocock got injured in that first test against England. So if we can get the cattle back on deck, and we'll learn our lessons from the games against the Chiefs and Crusaders where they ran away with the games and the scoreline blew out. I think we'd take a lot out of those games that we were in them. We just made a few mistakes and they capitalised, which is what the Kiwi sides are the best at, capitalising on your mistakes. And if you can fix them up and not give them those chances, you're right in the game. So, Crusaders and Chiefs are looking good, but I honestly believe we are still a really good shot, despite those couple of big losses to those 2 sides.
Oh yeah, potentially. Because we've had a lot of good guys out, and they're coming back. So that's going to strengthen our team. David Pocock and some of the names Ben said previously. We're just going to get stronger as the season goes on. So yeah, we're a red hot chance, as Ben said. So it's going to be pretty close come end of the season.
Of course, Andrew as well. Yeah, we're playing some good footy this year. The side's defence has been really good. We've got super coach Sam Rolfe and Hoops there. Doing a really good job. We don't have the size we've had the last couple of years, but we've definitely been playing. I think we're a very fit side, much fitter than in the past. So the side's been holding teams to scorelines. We just haven't put the points on the board, and there's been a few games which come right down to the bell, and crucial moments we've let points go. So I think a few weeks ago they tied with Royals, and that was a pretty key game to get in the top 4. So I think we're just going to miss out again, but the signs are definitely looking good. 2017 year of the Owl.
Oh yeah, well, I think they've got a really good team this year. Results have been very positive for them. Obviously that loss to Tuggeranong was very close, could have gone either way. So I think probably the Vikings, probably the team to beat still this year. They've got a lot of talent in their team and they play good rugby, very good defensively. But hopefully we play them again in the finals and we get the better of them this time.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at how the Brumbies and the Force match up ahead of their clash in Canberra. The Brumbies are favourites at home, but the men from the West have had their fair share of victories. The last time the two sides met was in March this year, when the Brumbies had a dominant victory. It'll be a battle of the locks, with big Rory Arnold coming up against the equally tall Adam Coleman. You have to go back 3 years to find the last time the Force had the better of the Brumbies. In other games this week, the Waratahs follow the Brumbies and head to Auckland, while the Reds host the Rebels. On Saturday, the Sunwolves are back in South Africa, the Hurricanes have a tough task against the Crusaders, and the Highlanders host the Chiefs. The round wraps up on Sunday, when the Kings play the Stormers, and in Argentina, it's a battle of the big cats, with the Lions against the Jaguars.
Facilities we've got here, Brumbies are great. Pretty much we've got everything we need that's going to maximise our performance on the field. So everything's really close. We've got kitchen and chef who provide food, which is in walking distance, which is great. We've got gym, recovery, ice bars, we've got sleeping rooms, we've got player rooms, and then all the coaches and computing stuff is upstairs. So we've got a really good setup that's designed to bring the best out of the players.
This is obviously my first coming to the end of my first year in the professional program, so I'd never experienced anything like this, but it's all basically brand new. So we've got really good recovery centre, the good food that we have here. Breakfast is provided, lunch is provided. We don't have to worry about those things. So it's just everything's top of the line, which is a good to have.
I'm lucky enough to have started over at our old base in Griffith back in 2011, and that was wonderful. Had a lot of history there. The Brumbies won their two Super Rugby championships out of that facility, so it was a lot of nostalgia, a lot of history. So leaving that in 2013, we spent 12 months at the Institute, and then to have our own custom-built facility here, which we had some input into the design of our particular area. So having seen it from when this was a pile of rubble to the building that it is now and the workplace that it is, we don't take it lightly in terms of what we've got downstairs for the physio and medical area. It's as good as I've seen. We've got, and that's credit to people up here being able to give us what we need to keep the guys on the park.